Hi! Until now, we saw who Laura is and why she's so lovable. So, Laura is lovable, but she is also a software computerized character. היא דמות ממוחשבת של תוכנה. It sounds like Laura is the product of a new technology that belongs to computer science. So, what area of computer science does Laura belong to? To answer this question, we will do some skimming. Do you remember? Skimming is לרפרף. We read parts of the text, usually a bit from the beginning and the end, to get a general idea of the text. Start reading. We want to find out what area of computer science does Laura belong to. I'll give you a tip. In this text, it won't appear at the beginning. We need to read a bit more to find out. Read the first 3 paragraphs. עכשיו, לא להיבהל, זה נראה הרבה, אבל הקריאה מהירה. אנחנו מחפשים מידע ספציפי. את תחום המחשבים שעוסק בתוצרים או מוצרים כמו לורה. So, remember to read quickly. Use the dictionary only if you feel that you really need a word to answer this question. Press pause and come back when you're done. You're back! Let's see. In paragraphs 1 and 2, we see a short description of Laura and of how the writer feels about Laura. Let's continue a bit more in the text. So, let's read paragraph 3 to find the area of computer science that Laura belongs to. In line 5, we see effective computing. What does this mean? Computing is clear, but what is effective? Don't confuse between effective, יעיל, and affective, רגשי. Affective comes from the word affection, חיבה. אז אפשר לתרגם מחשוב רגשי. מה זה אומר? לא ברור, אבל זה משלב מחשוב ורגש, אולי כמו לורה, שהיא גם וירטואלית, וגם מעלה רגשות מסוימים. This might be the main topic of the text. Is it? Let's find words and phrases that show us that effective computing is the main topic of the text. Phrases that are repeated in the text, שחוזרים עליהם בטקסט, are usually part of the main topic. To do this, let's go on with our skimming. Continue skimming by reading the first sentence of the next paragraphs, just a few paragraphs, until you have enough to confirm the main topic. לא צריך לקרוא את ההתחלה של כל הפסקאות בטקסט, מספיק שיהיו לכם כמה ביטויים שמראים שהטקסט הוא אכן על הנושא של effective computing. Press pause and come back when you're ready. Mark your text as you go along. Here we are again. So, did you find more words and phrases that show us that the main topic is effective computing? Let's see. In paragraph 5, we see work in effective computing. Let's zoom in on paragraph 6, where we find applications for computers that can read your mood. In paragraph 7, we can read the effective computing effort. Well, we really have enough to confirm that we were right. What is the main topic of the text? The main topic is effective computing. Our next question is about the opinion of the writer. דעה שלו. Is the writer optimistic or pessimistic about effective computing? In order to answer, we can go on with our skimming and check the last paragraph. The last paragraph is generally very useful because it contains information about the author's opinion and conclusions. Now, we are trying to understand if the author is optimistic or pessimistic about effective computing. So, let's go to the last paragraph. Read the last paragraph, look for positive or negative words, press pause and come back when you're ready. You're back. Let's look at the answer. In the first sentence of the last paragraph, we can read, the positive aspects seem to outweigh עולה על the negative. So there are more positive than negative aspects. That sounds optimistic. At the end of the paragraph, we can also read that such ideas can not only help people improve their experience with computers, but also to change their lives. To help, to improve, those are positive verbs. So the answer is optimistic, of course. Wow, you learned a lot from the eye-catching features, and now in this lesson from our skimming. We already know the main topic of the text and the opinion of the writer. Now let's try to understand also the purpose of the text, המטרה של הטקסט. So, question. Based on the eye-catching features and on your skimming, predict, לצפות, לנבוט, the author's purpose in this text. Is it A, to oppose modern research on computer software with emotional capabilities? B, to describe the concept of emotionally intelligent software and its practical capabilities? C, to show that computers can be highly beneficial to people's lives? Or D, to describe Laura's friendly, sympathetic attitude to her clients? Think about all the things you already learned from the eye-catching features and then from your skimming, and use that knowledge to answer the question. Use your dictionary if you need to. Press pause and choose. Yes, the answer is B. The writer's purpose is to describe the concept of emotionally intelligent software and its practical capabilities. Can you see how useful skimming is? Just from your skimming, you can understand so much about the text. You can actually predict what we will read about in the text. Let's see other answers. Why not choose the other answers in our question? It can't be A, because the writer doesn't oppose this topic. We saw he was optimistic. He did feel a bit strange about this, but he was still optimistic. It can't be D, because Laura is not the main topic of the text. She is only a product of the software, effective computing. Can it be C? Well, first, this answer talks about computers in general. It does not refer to emotionally intelligent software, which we will read about in the text. So it's much too general. Second, this refers to the positive aspects only. Highly beneficial, מאוד מאוד מועיל. And we saw that the writer is a bit uneasy and might even show some criticism, ביקורת. יכול להיות שאנחנו נקרא קצת ביקורת בטקסט, זה מה שראינו. אז הוא לא לגמרי חיובי. So, we're left with B. We are ending our lesson. Let's summarize. בואו נסכם. So what did we learn? We learned that the text will be about effective computing and that the writer is actually optimistic about effective computing. Even though, למרות, even though he does feel a bit strange about it. How did we learn this? We learned this from the skimming. We read the first few paragraphs, the beginning of some paragraphs, and the last paragraph. Wow, we did a lot. In the next lesson, we will start reading the text more closely to find out more about the main topic, effective computing.